Hello, my name is Christina Jimenez,
And I'm Josh Floyd.
and today we are going to be talking to you all about a standard possession order. Now, because of the complexity of a standard possession order, we have decided to kind of take this and break it down. So we're actually going to be doing several videos over the standard possession order. Okay, so for the purposes of today's video, we are only going to be talking about weekday and weekend possession solely, okay? And so in order for us to get started, Floyd, if you'll kind of explain the definitions and within 100 and over 100.
Okay, so first, when we're talking about a standard possession order, what that is it's a possession schedule that's set out in the family code. It's presumed to be in the best interest of any child that's over 3, children under 3, whole different issue. We'll make another video. So that's what a standard possession order is. Within 100 miles is just when the parents reside 100 miles or less from each other. And then we're going to be referring to the parties as possessory conservators or managing, right? And so a managing, for today, when we're talking about a managing conservator, we're talking about the party that has the exclusive right to designate the primary residence. When we say possessory, we're talking about the party that's exercising visitation.
Perfect. Alrighty, so first things first, we're going to be talking just regular standard visitation, and then we'll get into what we call expanded or extended standard visitation. Okay, so for regular standard visitation, what time period does the possessory conservator get on Thursdays of each week?
So Thursday each week they get 6 to 8, beginning at 6 p.m., ending at 8 p.m. that same day, while school is in session during the regular school term.
Okay, so just for clarification, you do not get Thursdays, or the possessory conservator does not get Thursdays during the summer, only during the school year. Okay.
Correct.
When we get to the weekend periods of possession, when does the possessory conservator get the weekends?
First, third, and fifth Fridays, beginning at 6 p.m. and ending the following Sunday at 6 p.m.
Okay, and so let's look at a calendar and let's kind of flesh out what the first, third, and fifth weekends mean. Okay, so
Good idea.
thank you. So I always recommend that my clients pull the academic calendar for the school, this district where the children are attending school. Okay. Reason why I do that is because sometimes the holidays are going to affect the weekends, which we'll get into here in just a little bit. And it's also going to affect your holiday possession, which will be a whole other video. So make sure that you have your academic calendar, and this is what you're referencing when you're trying to figure out when you're supposed to have the child. Okay. So what we're looking at is first, third, and fifth weekends. Okay, so let us, for the purposes of this exercise, look at October and November. Okay, so first Fridays is what we're looking at. Okay, so here in October, the 2nd is the first Friday of that month. The 16th is the 3rd Friday of that month, and the 30th is the 5th Friday of that month. Okay, now what makes this interesting is that when we get into November, you'll see that the 6th is the first Friday of that month. Okay, which means that the parties are going to, or excuse me, the possessory conservator is going to have 2 back-to-back weekends. Okay, and it's important that we're always looking at the Fridays and we're not saying weekends, right? Because if you come here to August, you'll see that the Saturday falls on the 1st. And so I've had calls saying, oh, well, you know, it's my weekend or it's not my weekend because this is the first Saturday. We don't look at Saturdays, we look at Fridays. Okay. Now,
real quick on that, I will say that a lot of times I myself, I don't know about you, but I will frequently just refer to them as first, third, and fifth weekends, right? I don't go into first, third, and fifth Fridays. And so if you're in court or talking to other attorneys, you may hear first, third, and fifth weekends. That means first, third, and fifth Fridays. And I think that's what causes the confusion for like the example you used where the first is on a Saturday, right? So don't get those confused if you hear that.
Very good. So going to the holidays and how it can affect your weekends. So let's look at April for this example. So we've already stated that there's not any extended visitation that has been elected. And so the possessory conservator would have Thursday visitation beginning at 6 and ending at 8, typically on a Thursday, okay? But Floyd, on the 2nd, there is a school holiday, and we can tell that because we have this lovely little key here that tells us that. And so since the children are off of school on the 2nd, what happens to the possessory conservator's period of possession?
It's extended by holiday, which means that instead of beginning their weekend Friday at 6, they get the benefit of that holiday being on a Friday, and so they will begin their weekend period of possession Thursday at 6.
Very good. And so the other thing is that if there is a holiday on a Monday, what happens?
It is also extended by weekend or by holiday. So instead of the visitation ending Sunday at 6, it will end Monday at 6.
Very good. So for the purposes of this example, the possessory conservator would have the kiddos beginning Thursday at 6 o'clock and ending Monday at 6 o'clock. Right. And, you know, if you look at the school calendar, sometimes it's actually somewhat rare that we have these Friday, Monday holidays. But if we're looking at, let's see, this Monday, actually, no, that's not possessory conservators. So I don't know. Do you see any other weekends, Floyd? I think might be it.
That's all I see on this calendar, but that doesn't necessarily mean it applies to all districts. But
okay, very good. So if you see that there is just a Friday that the children have off and they don't have the following Monday, then they would pick up Thursday at 6, they'd return Sunday at 6, and then vice versa. If they only have a Monday off, they would pick up Friday at 6, they would return Monday at 6. Okay, so yes, sir.
So let's say that hypothetically, February 12th is a school holiday. Does the possessory conservator still get their Thursday visit?
Yes.
Yes, very good. That's because the student holidays, or the extension by holiday, is only awarded to the possessory conservator, and it doesn't take time away. Good job, Mr. Jimenez.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It was actually not a very good question, hence my confusion.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, so I think that covers the standard possession, no elections. And so let's move on now to standard possession with elections. Okay, so Floyd, I guess let's talk about when the elections have to be made and the presumptions that go with that.
Okay, so we call them expanded elections. I think the code calls them alternate beginning and ending times. You may hear different phrases for it, expanded standard. But you have to make those elections prior to the court ordering the standard possession schedule. So prior to the oral rendition, it needs to be elected.
Okay, and so basically what that means is hypothetically speaking, you're in court and judge is about to announce his ruling, right? And say that this is the visitation that the parent's going to get. You have to make sure that you ask for those expanded elections before the judge renders that order, okay? And so with that being said, what impact does the expanded elections have on the Thursday periods of possession?
Well, it expands them. So it's important that when we're looking at the elections that we still continue to look at Thursday as a weekday possession and the weekends as a weekend possession. A lot because they kind of run together. But for Thursday, there's 2 alternate beginning and ending times, right? So the first one is instead of picking up at 6 on Thursday, the possessory conservator would be able to pick up from school on Thursday. And instead of returning the child, or instead of his visitation ending at 8 on Thursday, the possessory conservator could return the child to school the following Friday morning. And I make that distinction because the alternative beginning and ending times and expanded elections are the possessory conservator's option, right? If they want them or not, and they can pick some or all of them.
And so with that being said, number one, Thursdays, even if you make the extended elections, it's still only during the school year, okay? And like Floyd said, you can, and I've had parents that have to do this, right? They say, well, listen, you know, Thursdays just don't work because I have to work or I have to travel or things like that, right? And so they will either not make the election, so they'll just exercise the 6 to 8, or they will say, I do want to have these extended elections on Thursday, okay? But it's only during the school year, not the summer, okay? Now, going to the weekends, once again, we're looking at 1st, 3rd, and 5th Fridays, okay? But instead of picking up the child Friday at 6 p.m., we are now going to pick up the child Friday from school at the time that school is dismissed. Okay. And I understand that, you know, different schools end at different times, and that's why you have to know your child's school schedule, right? So, and if you have kiddos that are in middle school and elementary, that's a whole other ballgame. So just pick up at the time the school is dismissed on the 1st, 3rd, and 5th Fridays. Then you return the child to school on the following Monday when school resumes. Okay. So let's talk about holidays and how it affects the extended elections. Floyd, go ahead.
You're talking about student holidays specifically?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So for the beginning of your weekend, I guess, is the same thing. It allows you to pick up the child Thursday from the time school is dismissed instead of Thursday at 6. Did I say that right? I said that right.
You did. And so let's look at April the 2nd as an example. Okay, so we can see here that this is a student holiday, right? And so because the kiddo is off on the 2nd, and because this is the first Friday of the month, the possessory conservator would be able to pick up Thursday. If they had made the election for the Thursday period of possession, they would pick up Thursday when school is dismissed, and they would be able to keep the child the entire day Friday. And presumptively, let's say that Monday was not a student holiday, they would return the child Sunday at 6 p.m. Okay. If the parent had not made the extended election on that Thursday, they would pick up the kiddo at 6 p.m. on Thursday, and then they'd keep the child all the way until Sunday at 6 p.m., assuming that Monday wasn't a holiday. Okay. Now, since Monday is a holiday, that's also going to extend the weekend. And so, Floyd, if they have the extended elections for Thursday, what happens?
What happens to what? To Sunday?
Yeah, just what happens, Floyd.
Okay. All right. They pick up from school, which is what you already said for Thursday. But with regard to the end of their weekend, is that what you're asking about?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So if you have the elections and Monday was not a school holiday, you would return to school that Monday. Okay. If you have the elections and Monday is, in this case, a school holiday, then you would return Monday at 6. You don't get to return Tuesday at school. You would still return Monday at 6.
Okay, very good. So I think that covers all the Thursday extended elections, all the weekend extended elections. So Floyd, do you get to extend your weekend periods of possession during the summer?
No.
Okay, so during the summer, and here we see that this school year ends on the 21st. At that time, your Thursdays go away, and the weekend possession is Friday at 6 to Sunday at 6, 1st, 3rd, and 5th weekends. Now, summer gets a whole other, issue of complication, and so we'll kind of deal with that on another video. But for the purposes of your weekends during the summer, 1st, 3rd, and 5th, Friday at 6 to Sunday at 6, no Thursdays. All righty. Is that it, Floyd?
I think that is everything.
Okay, very good. So as previously stated, we're going to do other videos to talk about holidays, to talk about, summer, spring break, things of that nature. So when we do that, we will post those, and hopefully these videos are of some assistance to you guys. Like we always say in all of our videos, if you're having to deal with these issues, the best bet is to always go and hire a really good family law attorney, someone that you can explain your situation to, so that they can make sure that they are guiding you in the right direction.